What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and I got to talk about that Nintendo Direct that we had earlier this morning. I thought the partner showcase was great. There's a lot of great games that I want to talk about in this video. And look, I think we have to drop the narrative that going into every single direct that it's going to be bad, because as soon as the rumor mill hit and all these leakers were confirming that it's going to be a partner showcase instead of a mainline, a lot of people were losing their minds and getting upset and saying, and I'm concerned about Nintendo and Nintendo is doomed and all this doom and gloom nonsense. I'm not that type of person. I generally try to see the positivity in gaming. And yes, is a partner direct as hype or as exciting as a mainline direct? Of course it's not, because at the end of the day, if you are on the Nintendo platform, you want to see the big stuff that comes directly from Nintendo. But that doesn't mean that the partner showcases aren't exciting and we have some really good games from partners, because look, going forward, now that we have the Switch 2 and it's a pretty powerful hybrid console, partner showcases should be more exciting because we have awesome things like Resident Evil Requiem that is 60 FPS, in handheld and in dock. Like, that's pretty darn impressive. So we got to have that mindset going forward that these showcases that aren't the mainline stuff should be more entertaining, and we should be getting some pretty awesome games to go along with it. So that being said, let's talk about the games. There was a lot of games here. I'm not gonna go every single one, but for the things that I'm kind of excited for, we got a shadow drop, I guess. Not I guess. I guess it is for Hollow Knight Switch 2 edition, for free if you already own Hollow Knight 1 on the base Switch. High resolution, improved frame rates, additional effects, all that stuff. Awesome that it's coming. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to regular Hollow Knight. I may just check it out to see what it's like. But it's still very cool that it's here, and it's here very, like, we got it now, like it's on everything. So that's super exciting. We got another look at Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. This looks awesome. It's a RPG Zelda like, from Square. Looks awesome. The demo is already available on Switch that launched a few months ago. Very excited. That's definitely going to be a day one for me. So happy that this was here. I expected this game to be here as well. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We all knew it was coming. I just finished Remake on the Switch 2. It plays incredible. It looks incredible. And we had that conversation on the podcast where my brother was like, "Hey, are you gonna wait for the inevitable Switch 2 version, or are you gonna go ahead and jump into it on like the PS5?" And I was like, I'll just wait because I just came off a remake and I don't want to kind of like you know overload myself with Final Fantasy. But this comes out June 3rd. Right around the corner. Essentially, we don't have to wait. We only have to wait a few months. So very exciting. It looks awesome. Cannot wait to get my hands on this because I am itching to play the second part of this trilogy. Got another look at Pragmata. I haven't seen, honestly, I haven't really kept up too much with Pragmata, to be honest. I know it's a new IP coming from Capcom. I've seen a couple trailers, but I've never really dove in if they've offered any like gameplay trailers or experiences. I just haven't, for whatever reason. And we got a good look at this. And for me, whenever we get a good look at a trailer, drop a demo. And that's exactly what Capcom did with Pragmata. I went ahead and jumped into that demo. I think it's like 15, 20 minutes. Looks great on the Switch too. Runs great. Definitely going to be, it convinced me it's going to be a day one for me. So very excited for Pragmata. Turok Origins, I knew we already knew about that. I think it got announced a couple years ago at the Game Awards or Summer Games Fest, something like that. But looking at it on the Switch 2, it looks great. So that, I don't know if that's going to be a day one. I'll have to wait and see more of that game. But visually, it looks really, really great. I know a lot of people are excited about the new Digimon game coming to Switch 2. Looks great. It's at 60 XPS FPS, so that's awesome. That's kind of like the standard now, I think, for most people, going forward, and it should be with these consoles. Going through here, we got another look at Resident Evil Requiem. Game looks fantastic. A few days ago, we got confirmation that it does run 60 FPS on docked and handheld, so that's awesome. Cannot wait to get this game. I've already got this game pre-ordered on the Switch too. Other than like the visuals aren't going to be the best in comparison to PS5 and Xbox, but I'm okay with sacrificing a little bit of visual fidelity to have it on the go, playable on handheld Switch 2, 60 FPS. So very excited for this. We did get another look at the controller, which we already knew about. We knew about the Ashley, excuse me, the Grace amiibo, but they also announced the Leon. I will say the amiibos don't look as high quality as they as we kind of expect nowadays. I'm not really sure why they don't look as good. Maybe it was just the rendering was bad, but the faces just look. They kind of look like the original line of like the Smash Brother amiibos back in the day. They just do not look as nearly as detailed as they should be. And then the show ended with kind of a 3 games from Bethesda, which I know a lot of people they wanted like Starfield on there, but we got to look at Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. We already knew the game was coming, but we got to announce for the Switch too. We got to look at Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which wasn't announced for the Switch too, so I'm glad that it's here. Makes sense. That game came out last year, so it's one of those perfect games. I mean, Skyrim's already on the Switch with a Switch 2 upgrade, so just makes sense for Oblivion to be here now. And Oblivion is probably my favorite of like the 2 Skyrim and Oblivion games. Is probably my favorite of the 2. Overall, great game. And then obviously we got another look at Indiana Jones with a release date of May 12th. The game looks great. It's not a key card game. It's on the card on the cartridge itself, and oddly enough, this is the only way to get Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on a physical cartridge, physical format, because on the Xbox and PlayStation, you just have to put in the disc and then you download the game. So very weird that it worked out this way, but hey, pretty cool nonetheless. So yeah, I thought this direct was excellent. There is a lot of games that I am very much looking forward to playing. Did we get a lot of new stuff that was announced? No. And let's, I know a lot of people on the internet were like, well, where's Elden Ring? And some other, Expedition 33, Metaphor, ReFantazio, why weren't those announced at this direct? I think those games are, especially Expedition 33, I think, where's the Dustbloods at? Those games are like a very high tier. I think that they are just going to put them in the mainline direct to get extra eyes on them, right? So I think those are a little, not to say that any of these games shown off today are lackluster or don't deserve to be part of a mainline direct. Like obviously, like Resident Evil Requiem is huge, and right now my most anticipated game of the year. But I think the Dustbloods, Elden Ring, obviously that game still has to cook a little bit to get that frame rate going good, right? And then stuff like Expedition 33, like Game of the Year last year, that's going to be at a mainline direct. And then Metaphor, excellent, game from Atlas, Game of the Year for a lot of people back in 2024. So yeah, that game is just going to be, I think if it gets announced, it's going to be at a mainline direct. So I think we just got to be patient with Nintendo. Like the mainline direct is coming. We already know about some of the main, the first party stuff coming in the first quarter of 2026. Nintendo isn't doomed. We just have to be patient. And there's a lot of stuff to play right now. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you could be playing on the Switch too if you have, and there's a lot of great options, from first party Nintendo stuff. So we just got to be patient and just look at the positivity in gaming. We just had an excellent direct. There's a rumored mainline one coming at some point, maybe in February, maybe in March. We don't know. We have the Pokemon Day presentation to look forward to at the end of February. A rumored PlayStation State of Play next week. So there's a lot to look forward to, and we can't let stuff like this. If you weren't excited about this, that's fine. Everybody's opinions is different. Just don't let it ruin your day. Don't go on the internet and spout out hate because you weren't impressed with this direct, because a lot of people are, and I think it was a great one. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you upset? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.